Sebastian loves Easter. This Easter we have created our very first knitting kit. This particular one with the Easter Bunny is for beginners. No previous experience is required. This video is the first of 3. Each video will teach you the techniques you need to complete this knitting kit. If you open your instruction booklet to page 3, you will see the knitting pattern that we need to follow. It simply says row 1, knit 44 stitches. You might think, what does this mean underneath it? It's just been simplified. K meaning knit, and the 44 is the number of stitches that you need to knit. When we complete each row, we'll be able to mark it off as we go along, so we don't lose track. And if you're not sure what we mean by 44 stitches, have a look at your bunny. Still on the knitting needles, you can see many loops. Each one represents 1 stitch. So we have 44 stitches here that we need to knit. Don't worry, it will be quicker than you think. So, let's get started. So we're ready to begin. Let's pick up our half-made Easter Bunny. As you know, he is on the knitting needle, he is ready to go. We've got this red thing on the end here, it's a knitting needle protector. The idea is it stops your work from coming off, but it also is good at preventing you from hurting yourself on the points there. So let's take it off. Keep it nearby if at any point you decide you want to finish your row and leave it for the day. Just pop that on the ends again. As I said before, it stops the work coming off the end of the needle and unravelling. All your stitches are currently on the orange needle. We want that in our left hand. The blue needle that has nothing on it is in our right hand. Carefully wiggle your stitches up to the end of the needle. Leave a bit of space, but that just makes it easier for us to knit, but then also prevents all the stitches from coming off. So, wool goes at the back for a knit stitch. We're going to keep our hands quite close to the top. It gives us more control when we're knitting. And I think we're ready to start on our first stitch. So this is stitch number 1 here. What we're going to do is with the blue needle, it's going to go up through the middle of that stitch, so up and through the middle like that, and then it crosses over the back of the orange needle like so. Here we need to grab both needles with our left hand and it frees up our right hand, so they're kind of firm in place there, they're not going anywhere. Grabbing the wool at the back, wrap it around the back of the blue needle, and then it comes down between the blue and orange needle. I'll show you that one more time. It goes around the back of the blue needle, around the back, and in between the blue and orange needles. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. What we need to do is we need to hold on to the wool, not too tight, but not too loose either. You just want a nice hold on it. We don't want it going anywhere. We then also need to re-grab the blue needle with our right hand. So use these fingers here and then your thumb like so. So we've still got the wool there and we've still got that blue needle. When you look at it this way, you can see that on the blue needle, that is your new stitch. That one there, that is your new stitch. This is the old one. We just want to be left with the new one, not the old one. So using your hand, we want to stop the other stitches from flying off the needle. So kind of put your thumb there quite firmly. And then use your index finger, this one here. It's just going to gently push your blue needle. We're then also going to use our hands a bit like this. So we're going to push that blue needle and round it round. Right, there's our new stitch. Pull it down a bit on that blue needle like I've done there because we don't want that accidentally coming off. Now we need to lose this orange stitch, so still holding on to the remainder of the work on the orange needle here. Just gently lift up the blue needle and there we go. Our old stitch is now in here. So there's our first stitch. So we've got 44 stitches to do. Well, we've done the first one, so we've actually got 43 stitches now to do. So let's get on with the second one. So let's go through all of that again. Here's our stitch. Stitch number 2, the blue needle goes up and through the middle of it. At the same time, it goes across the back of the orange needle. holding it with your left hand. Here's our wool at the back, goes around the back of the blue needle and in between the blue and orange needles. Your right hand holding the wool and the blue needle, the orange hand holding your remainder stitches. Use your index finger to very slowly and very gently move the needle down. Round it round like so, and there's your stitch. So there's 2 new stitches here, but we've still got to get rid of that orange stitch there. So hold the remainder of your work. We've still got the wool being held between our thumb and finger here. Just lift that blue needle up and pop. There you go. There's your old stitch in here. Here's your new stitch here. Third time, here's your stitch, up through the middle of the stitch and to the back of the orange needle. Wool to the back, we're holding it all with our left hand. Around we go through the back, in between the orange and blue needle, holding everything in your right hand. Here we go, new stitch, hold it all, pop. There we go. So I'm going to continue off camera until I get to the last 2 stitches, and I'll just show you what you need to do there. It's exactly the same, but I know in the past it can seem a little tricky to some people, so it doesn't hurt to go over it again. So I'll see you there. Okay guys, so it's getting pretty exciting. We've nearly completed our very first row of knitting. I have on my blue needle nearly all the stitches now, new stitches that we've just knitted. And I've got 2 left on my orange needle. So still with the orange needle in my left hand, the blue one in my right. Let's move everything a little bit closer to the top so we can work with it. So the stitch is exactly the same as all the others. And so it doesn't hurt to recap. So let's go. Up and in the middle of that stitch. Wool to the back, around the back of the blue, in between the 2, holding everything in place. Slip it in and off, and the very last one exactly the same. Round we go. Let's get that needle through, and it just comes off like that. So now we have an orange needle, it's got no stitches on it, and the blue one has all the stitches. Just have a quick count out. You should have 44 stitches here, so be sure you've still got the 44 stitches. You want to take your time with this, no rushing of it. Rushing it will just mean you'll gain or lose stitches. You could get in a little bit of a pickle, so just be really careful with it and make sure you get some nice work going there. As we've now completed our row, let's just put our work down quickly. Pop that on, we don't want that coming off. And we can tick off our first row. So now if you wanted to leave it there and come back to it tomorrow, it's not a problem. You know you've done a row and you've got 14 rows left to do, and you can do that as often as you like. Don't stop mid-row. It will make it difficult. You might forget which direction you were going in. So if you finish at the end of a row, it's just going to make your life so much easier. Once you've done your 15 rows, get ready to watch our next video, which is making up and the stitching and the stuffing of your Easter bunny. We will see you there.